How's everyone feeling about the market? I titled before we went live, is the banana zone finally here? Is it finally in the room with us right now, Raoul?
Well, I had to go to Zambia to find the source of the banana zone deep in the heart of the Luangwa River. And I spoke to the baboon tribes, and they assured me that the banana zone is coming, and maybe it's in the room with us now. Yeah, it was fine. The river was a bit dry, so I can understand the slowness of the bananas to ripen. But they are coming, and they're being sent down the river, and they will be here.
Well, it feels like some came this week. We've been saying...
You see the amount of work that I do in crypto for people. I mean, I risk life and limb for everybody to bring the bananas back.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Raoul Pal on the most chaotic show in macro and crypto. It's time for Raoul to follow the J. Powell rates announcement. Raoul discusses crypto, the banana zone, the everything code, lifestyle chips, and where we are today in the big picture outlook.
And it's an absolutely beautiful chart. It's the GMI Global Weekly Liquidity, so that's both private sector liquidity and public sector liquidity from the large global economies. I mean, it's just perfect. It leads by 10 weeks. M2 does pretty much a pretty similar job as well. So you've got that. You've got Bitcoin seasonality is always strong from this point onwards. I'm going to share another chart as well. Let's have a look at this one. And Bitcoin is also repeating what it did last year. I mean, literally perfectly. So we've got the macro overlay. The Fed are going to keep cutting over time. The other central banks are going to be involved. We've got the seasonality in place. We've got the global liquidity cycle in place. I don't know what else is left. It's kind of like it has to be now. Even the chart patterns, usually you get 3 touches at the top, 3 touches at the bottom of a range. That usually works. So I think all of the elements are in play. And that volatility probably happens close to the top of the trend. Before the breakout, you're kind of waiting around at that 70,000 Bitcoin level, 70 to 75,000, and it chops around frustratingly there. Before, I think either way, whatever the outcome of the election, it goes up afterwards anyway. We've seen that in the past. But we saw the last time Trump was in, obviously, because Trump is very tax light, very stimulative, and he's very pro-crypto, so regulatory stuff, both for tech and for crypto, that you feel like that could be an extra juice if that were to happen. And 2016-17 was the last Trump cycle. We didn't have the Fed actually easing liquidity massively. They were just starting to raise rates, and they stopped for 2016-17, and it was the Chinese who were creating the liquidity, and the market went, bananas-tastic in 2017. Monad and Bearer Chain, they're going to come out in what is potentially the final stage of a bull market. Why the hell would retail buy it? Is it not just the people who got in at seed and are going to flip it out? I just don't see why a retail investor would buy something that launches in March when potentially the whole bloody market finishes by late autumn.
Bitcoin's price has rebounded by more than 22% 2 weeks after hitting a low of $52,546, reaching around $64,121 on September 20. Currently, Bitcoin price is retraced to $62,761, with several technical and on-chain indicators raising alarm about the strength of the recent rally. Let's look at the factors that could potentially drive Bitcoin price lower. Bitcoin's recent break above $62,000 saw a BTC price rise above the short-term holder realized price as this cohort of traders flipped some of their unrealized losses into profit. A chart shared by market analytics firm Into the Cryptoverse reveals that only 14.2% of Bitcoin investors were still in a position of loss when the price hovered around $62,600 on September 20, while subsequently accounting for over 85% of the supply and profit. The percentage supply in profit and loss evaluates the sum of unspent transaction outputs, UTXO, being in profit or not by comparing the price between when they were last moved and the current price. If Bitcoin continues to rise from the current levels, more investors will remain in profit. A high number of holders in profit is often seen as a sign of an overheated market, which typically precedes or coincides with price corrections. As a result of this on-chain signal, Bitcoin's price may see pullbacks over the coming days as investors choose to book profit. In August, Bitcoin futures open interest rose sharply, peaking at $34.72 billion on August 27. However, the price failed to break this $65,000 resistance and was followed by a 20% correction in 10 days. Similarly, with the latest run-up above $64,000, the open interest has increased by 22.7% since September 8 to a 4-week high of $34.72 billion on September 20, according to CoinGlass data. With the current strong demand for BTC futures contracts, investors are contemplating the possibility of a pullback similar to that experienced at the end of August.
Yeah, I do think some of the memes will continue because as people come into the market, memes tend to do well. But I think you're right that the whole pump.fun thing has probably died down a lot. And I think you're dead right that culture, NFTs were culture, this is culture. They're all going to morph into something that we yet haven't seen. And that's probably next cycle. This is all kind of experimentation stuff. I think it's still going to be one of the largest parts of this entire thing. But over time, that's crazy. The other thing about the ETH Bitcoin cross is it's actually driven by the ISM and the business cycle. So you're kind of all in that point on a weekly, for those who like technicals, on a weekly DMARC count. ETH just put in a 13 low as well. It feels that everything is in place, but that chart is quite remarkable. Now, we know that these charts fall apart just when you want them the most to work, so expect it to not work, but it's just interesting contextually. I've got a very strong thesis on this that as the market cap of crypto goes up over time from 2 trillion to where I think it's going, which is 100 trillion, you're going to generate more wealth than any other trade in all human history in the shortest period of time, and that gets recycled into art. And, I started buying Xcopy really in January and have been buying all year. That triggered a whole bunch of people. And I've shared the thesis a lot with people that, the really culturally relevant things will be highly sought after first. But I think it'll broaden out again. Art doesn't go away. And so we've seen Punks, Xcopy, and, there's very little Beeple for sale at all. So those are there. Yes, Fidenzas have come down in price, and yes, some of the others have come down in price. But I think we will see a rotation. It's kind of like, if you think of Xcopy and Beeple and Punks as Bitcoin, you get Bitcoin dominance first, and as the market broadens out, it moves to the other layer ones, layer twos, and other stuff. And I think we'll see the same here. I think we will see a big uptick in art as we start going through all-time highs, not only in Bitcoin, but in the other big one, which is Solana, because that's what people have got a lot of. We surveyed all of our hedge funds in Exponential Age Asset Management and Xpan, and the biggest trade is Solana.
From a technical point of view, Bitcoin price is fighting resistance at $64,000. When the price was rejected from this level on August 25, it recorded a 17.5% loss to $52,546, suggesting that the bears are aggressively defending this zone. Bitcoin bulls were required to produce a decisive daily candlestick close above this level to sustain the recovery. Conversely, failure to flip $66,000 into support could cause the price to drop lower, with the accompanying long position liquidations pulling the price towards $62,000. Data from CoinGlass showed a wall of ask orders building up above $64,000, reinforcing the importance of this resistance area. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.